Good evening and welcome to the July Board of Adjustment meeting. My name is Amy Sherping and I am the chair of the Stearns County Board of Adjustment. I call this meeting to order. Please rise if able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will conduct a call of members. Jason.
Here.
Rob.
Here.
George.
Here.
Joe.
Here.
John.
Here.
Dave.
Here.
And myself here. Please place all electronic devices on silent. All comments and testimony shall be directed to the chair. All persons providing information must state their name and address for the record. The meeting will run as follows. I will read the variance request, which will open the public hearing. While I'm reading your request, the applicant or their representative should come forward and have a seat in front of the board by the microphone. Environmental staff will review the staff report and any correspondence that has been received regarding the request. The applicant or representative will state their name and address, provide any input, corrections, concerns, comments, etc. Board will discuss the request and ask of staff or applicants. Upon completion of board questions, I will ask if there is anyone in the audience wishing to speak to the request. If there is, that person should come to the podium, state their name and address for the record, and give their testimony. When all testimony is complete, I will ask the board members for a motion to close the public hearing. No further input will be taken once the public hearing is closed, unless recognized by the chair, or if one of the board members is seeking clarification. The board will review, discuss, and vote on the finding of facts. The findings are a series of questions that the board is required to answer based on Minnesota statute and requirements of the ordinance. All questions must be answered in the affirmative by the board in order to grant a variance request. Our first agenda item is a request from Barry Belknap and Michelle Gregory from Kimball, Minnesota, from section 6.22A of Stearns County Land Use and Zoning Ordinance 439 to construct a 32 by 40 residential accessory structure, 804 square feet more than allowed on a property with a riparian lot area between 2 to 4.49 acres in the Shoreland Overlay District. Affected property is 12982 179th Street, Kimball, Minnesota, Section 18, Main Prairie Township. Which board members visited the site? Rob?
Yes.
George?
No.
Joe?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
I myself, Jason?
Yes.
Staff report.
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. The property owners purchased this lot on Goodners Lake in June of 2015. The property is 156,251 square feet or 3.59 acres in size. That is according to their certificate of survey that they submitted. As you stated, Madam Chair, the request for the structure puts them at 804 square feet in excess of what they're allowed for that size property. A previous owner moved in a prefabricated 15 by 25 structure in August of 1997. Another previous owner constructed a 26 by 30 structure in August of 2004. And then also a gazebo by a previous owner, 13 by 13 gazebo, looking at historic aerial photography sometime between 2005 and 2010. And then there's an 8 by 12 garden shed, which does not count towards their allowed square footage. The property owners are proposing to construct a new 32 by 40 or 1,280 square foot shed. We went over the excess. This would be a 0.67% deviation from their allowed area. The property is a riparian lot on Goodners Lake in the Shoreland Overlay District. It's a recreational development lake. and Goodner's is on the list of impaired waters for excessive nutrients. We do have a valid compliance inspection of the septic system on record. Lot coverage is not an issue at 9.1%. There's there's many alternatives. One is we could eliminate the 15 by 25, 26 by 30, and the 13 by 13 gazebo and build a new 30 by 60 or 1,800 square foot shed. An additional alternative would be to eliminate those same sheds, add on to the attached garage, and then also construct a new 1,800 square foot shed. Purpose and intent is in the staff report, and it's rather lengthy. Hopefully you had a chance to look at that. But the max accessory building area standards are to establish a sliding scale where the accessory buildings in shoreline are proportionate to the lot size. From 1972 to 2000, accessory structures in shoreline were required to get a conditional use permit. There wasn't an established standard, so the Planning Commission considered those requests. We do have one letter of correspondence that's in your packet. It's from a neighbor, Mike Palmer, and he has no objection to the request. And with that, Madam Chair, I'll turn it back to you.
All right, applicants, I will have you come to the podium, state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Barry Belknap. My address is 12982 179th Street, Kimball, Minnesota.
Thank you.
I gotta hit the button. Sorry.
I can do that. Take two. My name is Barry Belknap. Address 12982 179th Street, Kimball, Minnesota.
Thank you. And Barry, if you want to sit, you sure can. You don't have to stand.
That's fine.
All right. Board questions for applicant or staff, please.
I have questions for the applicant. Basically, what we look at is for a variance is what's unique about your property that doesn't allow you to do what you want to do. And your lot is like 1,000 other ones in Stearns County. And then the other thing is, do you have options, viable options that will allow you to meet the ordinance? Sure. And staff spelled out a couple of them in there. Have you considered those?
Yeah, absolutely. So fair questions. Understand that's what you guys are getting at tonight. So the first thing, the uniqueness of the property. So I'll deviate just a little bit to say I spent a lot of time talking to county staff about this project, and I appreciate what Dave has done and what Jamie Lucas, Brian Krippner. We talked about this a lot. So one of the things I really drilled down on with these guys is the intent of the ordinance. And as that was explained to me, Dave has summed it up in the report that you guys have in front of you. So I look at this, I'm trying not to be too long-winded about it, but when you write an ordinance, the point isn't the ordinance, it's what you're trying to accomplish, right? So the intent of this ordinance, as it's written up in the packet, is basically threefold. We want to avoid bunkhouses, right? Like we don't want to inadvertently create extra lodging for people to stay on a lakeshore property. My proposed structure has like no design that would accommodate that, right? So that's first intent. Second intent is to, I believe it was to, preserve future septic sites. And if you guys saw in the materials, Bernie Miller, who does a lot of this sort of work, was able to find where a second septic site was proposed, which is farther away from the proposed structure than the current septic site is. So I'm not having an issue with that at all. And then the third piece of that puzzle was preserving the aesthetic from the lakeshore. And so I think there was 4 or 5 of you that were out to the property. Anybody would have been able to see, you absolutely cannot see this structure from the lakeshore. You can actually barely even see my house, and this sits behind the house. So what I would say, to get around to your question, Mr. Schwiegel, the uniqueness of the property strikes me that the writer of the ordinance did not have in mind my property when they wrote it, or they wouldn't have written it, right? Because like if you're already satisfying all of the intents as have been relayed to me by the county staff, as well as written up in your report, clearly this is not what was intended. I did not create the property this way. I did not create the ordinance that way. So I would say that's what's unique about the property. As to alternatives, this is a hard question to answer in some respect because there's lots of alternatives, right? I mean, there's always alternatives, but I think I did the best I could with the limited space allowed in the form. It's, nothing's a need. We live in the United States of America. This is a want, not a need. So taking that off the table, I would like to have enough space to keep my vehicles under a roof and have some project space. And with 4 kids, one of whom is a driver and the other ones are coming, we're going to have a handful of cars around for a while. And I would love to have a structure that accommodates that. So one of the alternatives, looking at having an 1,800 square foot shed overall and wiping out the rest of my accessory buildings, it just absolutely does not accomplish that goal, okay? The second thing we talk about, let's see, what was the other one? Let's see, you could add on to the attached garage, so basically extend the size of the house. So my issue with that is there's a couple of things. I mean, could you do it physically? Yes. I mean, of course you could, right? And there's functionally no limitation on size on that. But the issue with that is twofold. First of all, I've looked at this every which way. I can't find a way that it would be decently aesthetically pleasing to do that. Like I would take that as an option because there is a lot of value in having an attached structure, but it'd be very hard given the layout of the house to make that look decent. And secondly, if you looked closely at the plans for the shed, I would like to have 8-foot high doors, just a little bit higher than the 7-foot stuff I have. That's going to be required to get a boat in and potentially some larger vehicles. You can't accomplish that with an 8-foot sidewall. My house is a single level house. It has 8-foot sidewalls throughout. So basically the ask would be if I attached it to the house, in my view, I think it'd be extraordinarily ugly and impractical, and you'd have uneven roof lines. So are those things possible? Absolutely. And a final possibility that I think is directly relevant that didn't get mentioned in the write-up is it is legally possible and permissible to actually take this lot and split it. So I could basically start with this lot as it sits. As I understand, I've talked to county staff about this, I could create, I think it's a 40,000 square foot non-buildable lot that would encompass all of my lake shore, okay? So that would become my riparian lot. And then my residual lot would still be, round numbers, 120,000 square feet. It's a little smaller than that. But that would then be buildable. And because it's non-riparian, then my limit goes from what you see in front of you tonight to 5% of the area of that residual lot in accessory structure space, which again, round numbers, would be about 6,000 square feet. What I'm proposing is not even half of that. That is honestly the best alternative solution. Does it make sense to go through a bunch of paperwork and spend a bunch of money to do exactly what I was going to do anyway? No, absolutely not, but that is an alternative.
But you're missing the point of the adding on to your garage. That doesn't count against your accessory structure square footage. You can build your 1,800 square foot add on to your garage and you're still at 1,800 square feet. Correct me if I'm wrong, staff.
Madam Chair, Member Schwegel, that's accurate. That's one of the alternatives that was listed in there. But now he would lose the other structures.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Comments, Madam Chair. Just kind of speak broadly here. I disagree with the applicant's analysis wholeheartedly, like almost 100%. It completely negates the fact that you're in a shoreland overlay district. There's this idea about the impaired waters. So I don't think that your analysis is complete at all. The idea that you can just split your lot, unless you've done a title search, and it's those CC&Rs in front of me to say, you can split them, I'm gonna say there's a high probability you can't do that. This is a want. You have to understand that when we go to this application, there's this part that I kind of highlighted for you that says variances are meant to be an infrequent remedy where the ordinance imposes a unique and substantial burden. Your desires to not get rid of these extra buildings, your desires to be able to park your stuff inside, which I am completely sympathetic of because I am the exact same way, these are not unique to the property. Having too many buildings, having what was done by the previous owner, that is basically like you doing it. So you have to understand that. I mean, when I look through here and I do this analysis that we have to go through, which are these questions, I mean, you're in an R20 district, limited residential development. Your house is already bigger than every other house on the block. You're proposing to utilize the space to operate a commercial business. What are we doing here? So, there's a lot of things here that you need, that your analysis is completely missing. And a big piece of that is that you're on a waterfront riparian property. You're on a waterfront property. And because of that, you have to consider the runoff. You have to consider, how much pervious space that you have. So again, when I drill down to it, you've got to give us a reason, guys, like what is unique to your property. There's nothing unique to your property. We're dealing with this. We have other applicants previously and before you that want to build bigger houses than what they have. But, at the end of the day, is it a reasonable use? Is it all of these other questions that we've been asked? And I think your analysis just really comes short. So, I mean, when I went through this, I mean, I'm seeing opportunity for you. I mean, these extra buildings, why can't you get rid of them? I see that you can do this. There's these things called shelves that you can put things on. So, I mean, there's other ways there's more than one way to skin a cat, and I'm not agreeing with your analysis here, so I'm having a hard time with that. So, I mean, you got to make us understand what is unique to your property, and you just want to have a big shed and a bunch of storage space. That's all this application says to me.
Is that a statement or a question?
Well, I initially started it with the word comment, so I'll give you that.
Do you have any more
And-
questions for staff?
Madam Chair, I'm going to add to Joe's, again, back from the staff report, purpose and intent. The purpose and intent of the max accessory building area standards are to establish a sliding scale where accessory buildings in shoreland are proportionate to the lot size. That's it.
But if you follow those bullet point downs, he does check all the boxes below that.
The wholehearted point of it, though, is that we're having a unique problem to the property. Wanting to store all your stuff on site is not a unique thing. I have that problem personally. I'm just saying what it is. I mean, he's got alternatives, and there are alternatives here. And, we can't just shake loose the riparian lot, the Shorelay Overlay District, because Mr. Belknap wants a bigger shop. I mean, that's not what we're here to do. I mean, there's nothing unique about this other than it's a whole bunch of wants.
Madam Chair, may I make a statement? So with respect, Mr. Vogely, is that how you say your name?
Vogelai.
Vogelai. With respect, if you look at, you brought up things like runoff. If you look at the map, if you look at setbacks, if you look at how the land slopes, which was all included, the likelihood of anything reaching the lake without first going through several hundred feet, mostly of woods and kind of brushland, is pretty much zero. So I hope, not to belabor that point, but the second thing, I don't believe it's within the scope of this group, as I understand it, and I have spent some time talking about this to really debate what the want is to do with the space. So I'm a little bit concerned about that judgment call, how you interpret the ordinance and whether it's unique property. I mean, obviously within your province to do that, right? But I will just, and if this is a poor argument, I mean, I have nothing else to stand on, but whoever wrote this ordinance, whoever passed the ordinance, the county commission that did this, did not have my property in mind unless there's all sorts of intent behind this that I'm not aware
Did you expect them to
of.
go to each property in Stearns County and adjust an appropriate ordinance to each lot, or?
So, no, but I mean, the point is, I look at this, so, you know, look, I don't want to argue. I mean, if you guys are going to shoot me down, it's fine. Like, I don't expect to get what I want just because I'm here. But the thing to me is, I look at rules and you try to apply like a materiality test to it, right? This is part of my day-to-day work in commercial banking. We have rules that make sense in circumstances, and there are circumstances where they don't make sense. And so to me, this ordinance, if the intent of the people that wrote it was to accomplish all the things I'm already accomplishing, then clearly my property was not intended for the ordinance. That is something, I mean, unique is I think a poor choice of words for this context, because in a county that's as big as Stearns, nothing is truly unique. But I would argue that my property was not the intent of the ordinance. And I think that is a characteristic that is not true of every property.
Unique is in a Stearns County word, that's a state statute word.
Now, whoever it is, I think it's, I mean, unique to the state, unique to the county, unique to the world. I mean, what is truly unique about anything? Nothing.
Well, if you stay for the rest of the meeting, you'll find out what a unique lot is.
All right, are there any more questions for applicant or staff?
Madam Chair, not a question, just, I mean, we're talking a lot about ordinances and the standards here. Just to read into the record, the Shoreland Overlay District, the purpose of that is to protect and enhance the quality of surface waters by promoting the wise utilization of public waters and related land uses. So we are here to protect and enhance. So that is a lens that we will be evaluating this through, is what are we protecting? And when we're looking at modifying things, we have to be sensitive to the very word protection.
Yes, Barry.
Okay, last comment. I think I can see where this thing is going, but Mr. Weinerman, the protection aspects of the ordinances to me are satisfied by things like impervious surface and setbacks and runoff rules. I mean, you talk about options, and this is completely ridiculous, and it's not something I'm going to do, but I could literally tear down my house and every building on that property, and I could build back something on the order of 3 times as big and still be within my impervious surface limitations, still be within my setback limitations. So the things that are actually designed to protect the land and the waterways, I could have far more square footage than what I have. So I do not, it's just not relevant to what I'm doing here.
Do we have any more questions for applicant or staff? Okay. Is there any public testimony? Is there any public testimony? Any public testimony? Then can I get a motion to close the hearing?
I'll move to close the hearing.
George made a motion to close. Can I get a second?
Second, Jason Wienerman.
Second by Jason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing is closed. We will be moving to the finding of facts. The variance request is to construct a 32 by 40 residential accessory structure, 840 FT2, more than allowed on a property within a riparian lot area 2.24.49 acres in the Shoreland Overlay District. Number 1, the proposed use is allowed in zoning districts in which the subject property is located. Yes or no? Joe?
No, this is an R20 recreational development and shoreline overlay district that requires limited residential development.
Dave?
Yes, accessory structures are a permitted use in the Shoreland Overlay District.
Rob?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Number 2, the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and the intent of the official controls of any related ordinance. Yes or no?
Madam Chair, Jason Wienerman, I'm going to say no, as the statement of the Shoreland Overlay is to protect and enhance public waters and related land uses. And this is a substantial deviation from the standard norms that are designed to protect and enhance the water resources.
Okay, thank you, Jason. John?
I'm a yes. Purpose and intent, he checks all the boxes, they're maintaining aesthetic view, preserving future septic sites, provide parking. Two other bullet points he also complies with there, checks the boxes, so I'm a yes.
George?
I'm going to say no. Based on the lot size and the, what amount of square feet he can build, he's violating that by about, well, 44.67%.
Rob?
I'm gonna say no. There's nothing unique about his lot that would require a variance. He has options to meet it, the ordinance.
Dave?
No.
Joe?
No, it's gonna be under land use 1.2B. Also gonna be, this creates a non-conforming structure under 5.1. This doesn't deprive the applicant of any reasonable use. It also prohibits the use of building for any government or business activities as well.
Thank you, Joe. I'm also a no. Number 3, the variance will be consistent with the comprehensive plan, yes or no? Rob?
I'm gonna say no under accessory dwelling unit policies number 2. Carefully manage ADUs in shoreland areas to ensure density is managed and shoreland aesthetics are not altered.
Dave?
No.
Joe?
No, water resources 1, 2, 5, 6, and ADU policy number 2.
I'm also a no. Jason?
No.
John?
Yes, it maintains residential use without changing character of the area.
George?
No.
Number 5, the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner, yes or no? I'm a yes, it is reasonable to want a shed for storage. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
No, proposed use, commercial business, and an R20.
Number 5, the plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property not created by the landowner, yes or no? Joe?
These are created by the landowner.
Dave?
No.
Rob?
No.
I'm also a no. Jason?
No.
John?
No.
George? No.
Number 7, the variance if granted maintains the essential character of the locality, yes or no? George?
Yes.
John?
Yes, it's compatible with surrounding properties.
Jason?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
No, it's going to be much larger than the adjacent properties.
Number 7, the need for the variance involves more than economic consideration, yes or no? Rob?
Economics weren't part of the discussion, so, yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Starting to not like this question because technically we didn't talk about it, but the elephant in the room is it's obviously the easiest thing to do is just to construct a new building.
Are you yes or no?
I am a no.
Okay. Jason?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Staff result?
Madam Chair, the findings were 4 in the affirmative and 3 in the negative.
Okay, can I get a motion to deny this variance?
I'll move to deny.
George made a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We'll say aye. All right, Barry, any questions, please talk to staff. Thank you for your time tonight. Good luck.
Public interest was served. Thank you.
All right, agenda item number 2, a request from Joseph and Lynn, how do you say your last name? Lesh, okay. From sections 9.9.9A, 10.211A, and 10.211A of Stearns County Land Use and Zoning Ordinance 439 to construct a residential dwelling 82.2 feet to the center line of County Road 146, an unclassified road ahead of the established building line, and 84.2 feet to the ordinary high level of Pearl Lake classified recreational development. Affected property is 9553 County Road 146, Kimball, Minnesota, Section 3, Main Prairie Township. Which board members visited the site? Joe?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
I'm a yes. Jason?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes, I spoke with Mr. Lesh.
George?
No.
Staff report, please.
The applicants own Lot 8 of Stein's addition to Pearl Lake, which they purchased in August of 2018. Stein's addition to Pearl Lake was platted in 1952 before there were any shoreland rules. The tract contains 15,814 square feet or 0.36 acres in lot area per the certificate of survey that the applicants provided with the application. Property is in R1 zoning district. Currently, there is an existing 2,057 square foot legal non-conforming residential dwelling, which was initially constructed in 1958. That original 1958 home was added on to in 1978 and 1999, and those owners had valid permits for that construction. The structure currently does not meet the side property line, the road, or the lake setbacks, and is over the allowed impervious lot coverage. The applicants tonight are asking to construct a new 2,555 square foot, two-story L-shaped dwelling. And this project will include permeable pavers, and that's where things got twisted up. And I apologize for that. There are existing paver patio areas on the lake side that were proposed to be replaced with permeable pavers. And then also the new driveway would be permeable pavers. And the initial review of that permeable paver plan, the soil boring that was conducted on the lakeside by that patio area, there was a typo from the licensed septic designer, but from the surface elevation to the restrictive elevation, it was showing 2 feet, but as you look through the boring log, it was actually 3 feet. So initially, we were thinking that that was going to become a deck because they had to elevate it, which would have been a 50.7 foot setback from the lake, but that is not the case. And the setback of the new structure will be 84.2 feet. So I apologize for the confusion on that, and actually just figured that out on Monday, so. The applicants would need a new driveway approach permit from County Highway. We can talk with the applicant tonight, but that's been applied for. I don't know where that stands, but he can address that. So the existing coverage on the property is 33.9% per their survey. The proposed with implementing those permeable pavers would bring it down to 24.8%. The property is obviously in the shoreline overlay on Pearl Lake. That's a recreational development lake. And Pearl is on the list of impaired waters for sulfate. The applicant has submitted a design for a replacement sewage treatment system. And this request represents a 17.8% deviation from the county road centerline setback and a 15.8% deviation from the required lake setback. This proposed new dwelling would be about 8 to 9 feet closer to the county road than their existing house currently. Structures built prior to the shoreland rules in June of 1972 are afforded the right to encroach 15% with a deck, but not within the impact zone. Again, this is going to remain a patio area on the lakeside. But structures built after 72, decks have to meet setbacks. So an alternative to the request would be to lessen the footprint of the house, which would increase the setback to the county road and obviously lessen the impervious lot coverage. The purpose and intent of the setbacks and the building line are laid out in that staff report for you. I'm not gonna go through all of that. There is public correspondence, which is in the packets. There is also comment from County Highway, which is in your packet. And then we have letters of support, again, from Mike and Jenny Schabel, and then also Bill and Ruth Kenning. And I think that's it for me, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you, Dave. I will have you state your name and address for the record, please.
Joseph Lesh, 9553 County Road 146, Kimball, Minnesota.
Thank you. Staff, or board, questions for staff or applicant, please?
I'll ask a question. And it's for both of you. So basically by that 20, or that 12-inch difference, the patio that we were standing on is okay.
Yeah, with the exception of, we'll have to dig that out and put the permeable paver
Permeable,
base
but
on.
you can
But we can maintain that same edge, if you will. Yes.
Good, thank you.
Yep. And just to add, Madam Chair, that surface is within 12 inches of grade, so it's less than a foot.
How long have you lived at this property?
What was it again? I always forget.
What was-
Since 2018,
Is it a-
however.
Is it a busy road?
It can be. And one of the reasons why we want to do this driveway plan is so that we can face the road when we go out on the road. Right now, the way our setup is, we're always backing onto the road. Weekends, it can be busy.
Sure.
Now, where the county tells you you can put your driveway, will that alter your floor plan at all?
No. The only issue with the driveway would be whether or not, I think anyway, whether we have to share an approach with the neighbor. So we may have to make an adjustment to the paver plan accordingly, but you can see kind of on that drawing, sort of, where that neighbor's approach is and where it starts. Pretty close.
Question for staff, are we dealing with, I just want to clarify here, is the septic anything part of this application? Is that are we an umbrella application with the septic and the house, or are we just the house?
Madam Chair, this application has nothing to do with the septic system. There's no variances requested for that.
Okay. Whoever can answer, question would be looking at the alternatives. When we go through here, we go through a very objective process of how we answer these questions, as you can see. So I guess, what we're really looking for is what is the issue with the lot? And so when I look at your application, I'm seeing a 2,555 square foot house. So what are the alternatives to bringing it down, and why is that not a consideration here? Because, just to be straightforward and straight honest, I appreciate you not coming here with some ridiculous analysis that makes zero sense. I appreciate that. But just why not smaller than a 2,500 square foot house?
That's a great question. Right now, the house size is, with the garage, right around 2,000 square feet with the garage.
With the garage?
With the garage. The proposal goes up, 500 square feet roughly. It's to put a reasonably sized garage on there so that we can get both my wife's and my car in there. Right now, I can't fit my pickup in there. And then in the home, it's to allow us to age in place. Right now, it's really tight around like our backside of our bed. I couldn't get a walker back there, much less a wheelchair. And we have family members that take care of special needs people, and we have them over in wheelchairs on a regular basis, and it's hard to move them around in the current dwelling. There's a stairwell that's, I think they call it a winder stairs, you know, they're not really, that's the only size stairwell that can really fit in that house. So just trying to get everything, looking for the future, single level living, and getting what we need to live on that first floor. So, you know, the garage accounts for, I say, most of that square footage, just to get big enough garage for a pickup truck. But does that answer your question, Joe?
Yes, thank you.
Board members, any questions for staff or applicant?
I do just want to make one comment. You know, when you look at the pictures and you walk up to the house, I mean, you really stop and go, what in the heck are we doing here? Like, what's the question? And then you walk around to the back of the house and you can see all of the different roof lines. So, I mean, really, I mean, I hear what you're saying about that. Do you have any measurements that would be I'm just looking through here, if you had any plans or any measurements for the new build that show, you know, your interior square footage of just kind of a broad, you know, size garage, things like that.
The garage, you can extrapolate it. The garage right now, we're talking about a 30 by 26 garage. So the rest of that would be living space.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yep.
Madam Chair, so one of the, I mean, is there any opportunity to reduce, excuse me, the length of the house?
The challenge there is, Madam Chair, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
The challenge there is to get that apron on the side like we want it, and I guess we could still back out into this county road if we put the garage doors on the end. But the challenge there is to allow that space to back a vehicle up before you go forward, a turnaround area. If you shorten the garage up much more, you're backing right into the house. And then, you know, I guess opportunity to make it smaller, you can always make something smaller, but is it practical at that point? Is it safe? Does it satisfy our needs to be able to store 2 vehicles in there?
I mean, I guess the reason I asked that question is these are small lots.
They certainly are.
The entire neighborhood, and this is not an uncommon housing structure where it's located. So it's a, what are we calling it? It's a lot that struggles to meet the minimum standards.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Jason. I mean, going out there too, just looking at, I think I want to look at, I always take pictures when I go out there. I mean, looking at the property, I hear what you're saying about the parking and stuff, but I mean, and it's a small lot, but you know, looking at your next door neighbors where they were able to put in a home, but they had to lose the garage, you know, or lose a garage stall is, you know, definitely, I don't know. I guess I'm having a hard time seeing losing the use of the property just by losing one garage stall. You know, there may be some point in time that you're going to be coming down to one vehicle, but I mean, this is really kind of a fine edge because, I mean, at the end of the day, we see a lot of these where people just they don't want to spend the money to buy a bigger lot to do what they want with it. And so we want to balance that. And I'm also sympathetic to that a little bit, but I feel like the 2-car request is what pushes is what pushes it over. If you were to maybe consider shrinking down to 1 car to keep your size, because we've got to, ultimately we cannot create non-conformings. We just can't do that. But it doesn't lose, you got to talk about reasonable use that's lost, and in reality, losing a garage stall and being in without needing this variance is not an unreasonable loss of use, I guess is how, and unlike Mr. Belknap, I have a legal background, not a banker, so a little bit better legal analysis here, but just to be straightforward with you, that's how I'm seeing this. I'm like with Jason on this.
Yeah, we have, the word I was stretching for was we have a legal non-conforming lot. And we knocked it down by finding a foot underground. So that was good, we found that. But we're making the non-conformity worse, which is where I'm struggling.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
When I started this process last summer, and I called the county, and just to replace the roof, same roof line, we would have required at least 5 variances. We had a non-conforming accessory structure that I voluntarily removed. That space, the tools, the stuff that's in there, needs to go somewhere, right? So I think an expansion is warranted on that grounds as well. And I don't think it's unreasonable, and I don't think it's unreasonable at all to be expecting a 2-car garage, and even a lot this size. This lot is no smaller than a city lot that has 2-car garages on a regular basis. So, or even 3-car garages.
Yeah, go ahead.
Madam Chair, question for staff. So we have on one side, we have the road setback. On the other side, we have the shoreline setback. Are they cumulative, or are we looking at them separately?
Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, they're 2 different requests.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for staff or applicant?
I have one question for either one of them that can answer it. When you look at the building line there, that bottom corner, how far ahead of the building line is that?
Madam Chair, Member Schwagel, I just measured that because I knew it was coming. It's about 7 to 8 feet.
What was the number?
7 to 8 feet per the survey.
Okay.
Did you measure the existing as well?
I did not.
I'm curious.
I can, but
I think the existing is ahead of the building line a little bit too, so it's just twisting it. That allows us to square up I think you guys realize that, the property with the home with the property line.
My concern with that is it has the possibility of affecting everybody both ways. If then your neighbor to the
small
to the
deviation.
east decides to tear down and rebuild,
Madam Chair,
building line, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, to answer the applicant's question, the existing is about 4 feet ahead of the line.
Yeah, it's a small deviation.
So we're coming even farther ahead
But by squaring the house up with the property lines, you bring that corner down.
But he's also bringing the property into more of a compliance too. What's unique about this is the size of the property. Everything's sitting in there kitty wampa.
But like I said, if the neighbor to the to the right wants to
You
build.
don't know what the neighbor
property
to the
line
right
comes
is
out
gonna
the
wanna
corner
do.
of Mr.
You got a letter of,
Lex's house.
you got a letter of support from the neighbors.
This is him, this isn't involving his neighbor, and his neighbors do have letter of support.
But you have to look at the future. It has the potential of affecting the entire neighborhood.
Are there any more questions for applicant or staff? Is there any public testimony? Any public testimony? Any public testimony? I'll ask for a motion to close the hearing.
I'll move to close the hearing.
George made a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is closed. Let's proceed to the finding of facts. Variance request is to construct a residential dwelling 82.2 feet to the center line of County Road 146, an unclassified county road, ahead of the established building line and 84.2 feet to the ordinary high water level on Pearl Lake. Number one, the proposed use is allowed in the zoning districts in which the subject property is located, yes or no? I'm a yes. R1 is allowed. George?
I'm a yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah.
Dave?
Yes.
Madam Chair, I think you mean residential dwelling units are allowed in the R1.
Yes. What did I say? Oh, thank you for clarifying. All right, number two, the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and the intent of the official controls of any related ordinance, yes or no? George?
Madam Chair, I think I interrupted and we didn't get Joe's vote on the last
Who was a
finding.
yes?
Yes, on an R1.
He looked at me like he didn't get a chance to say it.
Not
That's
like
why I
that.
He
interrupted.
did, I heard him.
No.
You said yes.
We can maybe slow down a little bit so I can gather some info.
Number two, the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and the intent of the official controls of any related ordinance, yes or no? George?
I'm going to say yes because the deviation, I think the deviation from the water was 84.2. The deviation is small.
John?
I'm a yes, same reasoning, and I'll also add increases impervious surface.
Jason?
Madam Chair, I'm going to say no because I think that we are enhancing a nonconformity here, which can negatively impact the adjacent landowner values, disturb the community, and impact water quality.
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm gonna piggyback onto George and John there. There is a letter from Stearns County, neither, they're not denying it, so that, Rob?
But that letter only addresses the road setback. Are we doing
It's
them
it's a small deviation in my eyes.
separate?
Rob?
But we have the setback from the lake too.
These
Are we
are,
doing them separate,
no, this is all together.
right?
Madam Chair, that's entirely the board's decision, if you want to split them.
I thought we were doing them together.
We are doing, these are together.
Two different issues.
It'd be ridiculous to split them.
It's a small deviation. I agree with John.
Well, in that case, I'm gonna say yes, the highway approved it, or okayed it.
Thank you, Rob. Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
No, I just don't see the reasonable use being lost.
Okay, number three, the variance will be consistent with comprehensive plan, yes or no? Jason?
I'm going to say no, with water resource policy goal, number 3, preserving watershed functions for high-quality surface water and recreation areas, and natural system corridor policies, number 1, recognizing natural systems as critical infrastructure.
John?
Yes, it preserves residential use, improves environmental concerns, and I'll piggyback that also with Lakeshore Living Policy number 8 and Living Goal number 3.
George?
Yes, same reasoning.
I'm also a yes. Rob?
I have difficulty with the two separate issues. The highway department doesn't care, but the main focus is on the lake. So as far as that goes, I'm gonna have to say no.
Dave?
I'm going to say yes. Under Lakeshore Living Policies, number 6, expand mitigation requirements, requesting to vary from lake setbacks to preserve the riparian environment and reduce erosion to enhance the water quality.
Joe?
No, Lakeshore Living's 1, 8, and 3, as well as 6, and then Living Goals 1 and 2.
Okay, number 4, the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner, yes or no? Rob?
Madam Chair, sorry, I didn't have George's down here.
George
George's-
was a yes.
I'm a yes, yeah.
You good, Dave?
Sorry, yes, go
Okay.
ahead.
Number 4, the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner, yes or no? Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Anyone have a reasoning?
Madam Chair, I will say yes because building a home site on a residential lot is a reasonable use of the lot.
Thank you, Jason. I'm also a yes. John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Number 5, the plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property not created by the landowner. Joe?
No, there's just too many alternatives.
Dave?
I believe yes, due to the fact of the size of the property in relationship to the road and the lake and the narrowness of the property. The applicant is trying to meet side yard setbacks and be under the impervious lot coverage.
Rob?
I will agree with Dave.
I'm also a yes. Jason?
No.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Dave? Good? Okay. Number 6, the variance if granted maintains the essential character of the locality, yes or no? Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah. Not gonna change anything.
No, I also agree. I'm a yes as well. Jason?
No, this is going to be a substantial growth in the size of this house and create a substantially larger house structure for the rest of the neighbor.
John?
I'm a yes. It's replacing a single-family dwelling with another.
George?
Yes.
Number 6, the need for the variance involves more than economic consideration, yes or no? I'm going to say yes. Economics were not discussed. George?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Rob?
Yeah.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Madam Chair, just for the record, that was number 7.
Oh, sorry. Staff report results.
Madam Chair, the findings were 7-0 in the affirmative.
Can I get a motion to grant this
Wait,
variance?
7, oh, okay, the 7, we're good, never mind, sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve.
John made a motion to grant. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by George. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say aye.
Opposed, Jason Wienerman.
Okay. Good luck. Joe, any questions? Please direct them towards staff. Thank you for your time.
I missed the fact that we had a couple conditions that we would recommend. The permeable paver plan has been tentatively approved. It's going to need some modifications. And then he does not yet have the approach permit. And so the department was going to recommend that those two things be approved prior to him being able to obtain a construction permit.
Okay.
I'm okay with that, if you just want to
Yeah,
mark them
we
in
have to
minutes.
redo the motion, so, or add the conditions.
Just amend the motion, yeah.
Madam Chair, if the motion maker and the seconder are both okay with it,
I amend my motion to include that language.
Same.
okay, then you can call for a new vote.
And then I'm gonna ask for a new vote, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say aye.
Wienerman, no.
Same, thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, our third agenda item is a request from, how do you say your last name? Scow? Okay, from Jeremy Scow from Stearns County Land Use Ordinance 439 to alter the roof line of an existing residential accessory structure and construct a lean addition on said structure. 82 feet to the center line of a road classified major collector, State Highway 22, and 18 feet to the right-of-way of road classified principal arterial, State Highway 23. Affected property is 22445 State Highway 22, Richmond, Minnesota, Section 24, Munson Township. Which board members visited the site? John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. George?
No.
Joe?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Staff report, please.
Mr. Sko owns 8.11 acres in Section 24 of Munson Township. He purchased this property in October 2016. This property is zoned R1. He currently has an existing 30 by 32 accessory structure that was permitted by our director, Shelley Benson, in 1993. And that was constructed by a previous owner. The applicant now proposes to alter half of the existing roof line and add a 21 by 32 lean addition on the north side of the structure. And there you can see he's just going to alter that roof line to make it one continuous roof line and then blend in with the proposed lean.
Madam Chair, just a question for staff. So what is a lean structure?
So, Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, essentially a lean is, it's not all enclosed, so the back and the side may be enclosed and the front open, or just the back and the front open
Okay,
and the side enclosed.
thank you for the clarification.
Sure. So the total proposed square footage would be 1,632 square feet, which obviously is well below what he's allowed for the property. This property is in the shoreline overlay of the Sauk River, classified an urban segment. The Sauk River is on the list of impaired waters for mercury and fish. Much of the Sauk River chain is. The subsurface sewage treatment system was certified compliant in June. The proposed request would be an 18% deviation from the State Highway 22 setback, and it is a 76% deviation from the State Highway 23 setback. That property to the north used to have a commercial business on it, and it was bought out by the state, and they advanced that right of way all the way down to the fence line. The purpose and intent of the setbacks, the road setbacks, are laid out in the staff report. We did receive correspondence from MnDOT. That's in your packets. I don't have any correspondence from the public, and there really aren't any alternatives. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Dave. Applicant, if you could please state your name and address for the record.
Yes, Jeremy Scow, 22445, State Highway 22, Richmond, Minnesota.
Thank you. Questions for applicant or staff, please?
Madam Chair, question for staff. So if you go to the aerial photo, I'm not sure what page that's on, you said Highway 23, the state bought the lot up to the fence line, and that's creating the new easement barrier problem?
They, Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, they designated that all right-of-way, all the way down to the boundary. So the whole thing from the center of the state 23 all the way down to the fence line is highway right-of-way.
Question for staff, what is that footage? Do you know what that is?
The square footage of that area?
From the center of the highway to the fence line?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I could pull a
No,
quick measurement.
That's fine, that's fine.
Okay.
So Madam Chair, a question for staff, and I don't know, is the state planning on expanding 23 to 3 lanes?
Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, I don't know that we know of any plans for them to widen that surface.
I have no issue from them.
They did provide comment and
Yeah.
didn't seem to take issue with the request.
The reason I bring it out, it seems a really wide right of way.
Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, so if you remember, there used to be a establishment here on the corner called the River Roost, and the lot was going to be so small once they took what they needed to for the expansion of Highway 23, that there wouldn't have been any usable parcel left. So they basically just bought the whole thing and created it as right-of-way, which is not uncommon for MnDOT to do, or even the county in some cases.
So the fence line along your property there, along the garage, is that the property line also?
From my understanding, there's some posts there that look really old that have been there for quite a while. That actual fence, chain link fence, I actually know the owner of the old River Roost. I used to be there. That fence, chain link fence was put in probably in the early 90s because of all the people walking onto my property now. It was a bar, so it's pretty popular around there. So I couldn't tell you exactly, but those posts look pretty old. There's like 4 posts there that, I don't know how close it is to my actual property line, but I don't have any intent of tearing it down or anything.
Madam Chair, to answer Member Wicker's question, it's about 140 feet.
Any more questions for staff or applicant?
I guess I have, a question for applicant on this. I mean, again, these are very objective questions on how we get to the point. And so when I look at this and I see your application, I'm seeing, some wants. You want to store your stuff inside. I get that. But what was glaring to me when I pulled up was the big commercial business sign up front, and you're sitting here in an R1. So, I mean, at this point, you already have a pretty big building. You're running into a point where you're out of space. So at what point, again, I mean, we're supposed to give variances are meant to be an infrequent remedy where ordinances impose a unique and substantial burden. So I guess I'm asking the question, like, what's wrong with storing your stuff off-site? Because it seems like you've come to a point that, either you got too much stuff, maybe it's time to buy a shop. I mean, I'm not seeing anything. I mean, all I'm seeing is a setup for the county or the state to potentially have to buy your big shed and lean-to now because they're going to knock it down at some point to do something here at 23. That's just a given. So, I mean, I'm just trying to understand what makes this, because I'm just seeing a you problem. I'm not seeing a lot problem.
There's some pictures in there of the trailer, and there's a boom lift. That's for my business. That's all I have. I have a small painting business. That's what I have. It's me only. I don't have employees or anything. I'm a one-man show. And the boom lift will last a lot longer if it's out of the sun. The sun is what does the most damage to the trailers and equipment. That was my main objective, is to get everything out of the sun And that's why both of those will fit right in there. And I don't need a door in the front or anything, I just need the coverage
Yeah.
from
No,
the sun.
And I understand, I'm sympathetic, but I'm just, when I look at this objectively, like what is creating, I mean, what's stopping you from renting a storage unit, I guess? And that's kind of I mean, I'm not seeing anything unique to the property. You've got quite a bit of land. The only thing I see, unique is that you're on a main drag here, which is what's really causing your issue. I'm not seeing anything that this property is doing to you that's limiting you, on your use here. It's just a desire, if you see what I mean.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I disagree with Joe there. He calls this a you problem, not a lot problem. I think Angie described that lot, the reason why MnDOT has such a right-of-way there. That does create an issue for him. If there was a normal standard 100-foot right-of-way, we wouldn't even be, well, we would for the County Road 22 be discussing this, but I totally disagree with Joe's reasoning there.
I agree with you, John.
Well, the rationale is, I mean, he's already got a big shed. I mean,
That's not important. He's not,
Okay,
stick to the
okay.
facts.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just trying to do an objective analysis here. I mean, and it doesn't sound like you're using objectives here at all.
Any more questions for staff or applicant? Any public testimony? Any public testimony? Any public testimony? I'll ask for a motion to close the hearing.
I'll move to close the hearing.
George made a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Final discussion, if any, then we're gonna close the hearing. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Public hearing is now closed. We will proceed to the finding of facts. Number one, the proposed use is allowed in zoning districts in which the subject property is located, yes or no? George,
Yes, having an accessory structure is allowed in that zone.
and for the record, I will put it's R1, so I'm also a yes. John,
Yes.
Jason,
Yes.
Rob,
Yeah.
Dave,
Yes.
Joe.
No.
Joe, I need a reason on why you're answering no.
Well, this is going to be to use a commercial business.
Okay.
It's an R1.
Number two, the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose and intent of the official controls of any related ordinance, yes or no? Rob?
Come back to me.
Okay, Dave?
Come back to me, too.
Madam Chair,
Jason?
I'm going to say yes, because the intent of the ordinance is to protect the transit corridor there, Highways 23 and 22. And this variance, as we've talked about, 23, it's an artifact of the acquisition of the highway. So it's a substantial on 23, and on 22, if I get my numbers right, it's an 18% variance, and the state has indicated no concerns with the proposal.
And I agree with you, Jason, so I'm also a yes. John?
Yeah, same reasoning.
George?
Yes, same reasoning.
Rob?
Yeah, same reason.
Dave?
Yes, same reason.
Joe?
No.
The reason, Joe.
Creates a non-conforming structure. It also does not protect the major transportation corridor.
Okay. Number three, the variance will be consistent with comprehensive plan, yes or no? Jason?
Yes, for some of the transportation goals. And I bet you want me to list them, don't you?
Yeah, sorry.
Adhere to the goals and, connectivity, transportation system policies adheres to the goals and recommendations in the plan. And then, I'll go with that one.
Thank you. Okay. John?
Yes.
George?
I'll add connectivity goal number 1, develop and maintain a transportation system that promotes safety, mobility, and accessible users.
George?
I'm yes.
I'm also a yes, and I'm gonna add to Jason's with living goals, number 3, support housing options that give people in all stages of life and all economic means viable choices for safe, stable, and affordable. Rob?
I'm going to say yes under major transportation corridor policies, number 1 and 3.
Thank you, Rob. Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
No, ADU number 2, town site number 1, major transportations 5 and 6.
Number 4, the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner. I'm gonna say yes, it is reasonable to store expensive equipment out of Minnesota weather elements. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Yes.
George? Rob?
Yes, it meets all water-related setbacks, the square foot requirements. So yes, that's reasonable.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
No, it's time for a new shop.
Number 5, the plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property not created by the landowner. Yes or no? Jason?
Madam Chair, yes, again, that Highway 23 is funky.
And there is a letter from the Minnesota Department of Transportation, the whole right-of-way issue, so I'm also a yes. John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes, bordered on water on one side and 2 state highways on 2 sides.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Created by the landowner.
I need a reasoning.
It's desired by the landowner. And store off-site.
That gets costly too. Dave,
Great.
are you good? Okay. Number 6, the variance if granted maintains the essential character of the locality, yes or no? George?
I'm going to say yes. It's not going to change the character.
I agree, I'm also a yes. John?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes, it's not going to change anything.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes, it will change compared to the house next door, yes.
So Joe, are you a no then, or?
Well, it says the variance, oh, so a no, yes, that's correct, a no.
Number 7, the need for the variance involves more than economic consideration, yes or no? I'm gonna say yes, economics were not discussed. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
Before you call for a vote, did you open the public hearing and close the public hearing? Okay. I'm so busy trying to type as fast as you all talk on these findings. I just saw there was a gentleman here and I didn't know if he had a chance to talk, so.
I think George and Dave
Sorry.
did the motions.
Yes, it was George and Dave with the motion. Okay, staff report results, please.
Madam Chair, the findings were 7 in the affirmative, no negative.
Okay, can I get a motion to grant this variance?
I'll move to approve the variance.
George made a motion, can I get a second?
Jason Wienerman, second.
Second by Jason. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye.
Aye.
Good luck, Jeremy. Good luck. Any questions, please address staff. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep, have a good night. All right, our last agenda item. Oops. This is a request from John Tealman from Section 6.21P of Stearns County Subsurface Sewage Treatment System Ordinance Number 422 to construct a replacement soil treatment or absorption area 3 feet from County Road 154 right-of-way and 10 feet from a structure and replacement sewage tank from County Road 154 right-of-way. The affected property is 18359 County Road 154, Avon, Minnesota, Avon, Section 5, Avon Township. Which board members were able to visit? Rob?
Yes.
George?
No.
Joe?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And I'm also a yes. Jason?
Yes.
And I will ask for staff report, please.
Mr. Tealman purchased Lot 25 of North Shores Edition in July of 2018. North Shores Edition was a 1958 plat, obviously before official controls. The property is in R1 zoning district, and the lot is 17,648 square feet, or 0.41 acres in size. The soil treatment area is excessively ponded and is near the end of its service. It was originally constructed in 2008 when the home was constructed. It's the opinion of the licensed designer that the drain field was undersized originally due to the soil type, and then a bedroom has been added since the initial construction of the septic system. The system is being designed in this location because there's a shallow well that serves the home on the lake side of the home. And that requires a 100-foot setback to the soil treatment area. It will require removing the existing soil treatment area and then replacing those contaminated soils with a clean wash sand. The applicant has obtained a reduced side yard setback agreement with the westerly neighbor, which will help fit the system into this extremely tight location. As I mentioned, it's R1 zoning. The system needs to be upgraded due to the end of the life of the treatment area. The deviation from the required setbacks for the soil treatment area is 70% from the road right-of-way, 50% from the structure, and then there is a sewage tank that's only 9 feet from the right-of-way, so there's a 10% deviation there. The purpose and intent of the setbacks for the septic system are laid out in the staff report. I do not have any correspondence from the public, and so it's back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Applicant, if you could please state your name and address for the record.
Madam Chair, my name is John Tillman. I live at 18359 County Road 154, Avon, Minnesota 56310.
Thank you. Staff questions for applicant or board questions for staff or applicant? Oh my God.
Madam Chair, question for staff. So it says there was a bedroom added to the house. Do we know when that was added? Was that after 2008? And if so, did it require a permit?
Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, I do not have record of when that bedroom was added.
Okay.
And because it's an interior modification, they don't need a permit, a county permit or a township permit for that.
Thank you. Yeah.
So when Tim from WATAB interviewed me, he said that the bedroom addition was based on the people in the home, not necessarily a bedroom addition. I didn't add anything. The house is original from when I purchased.
Okay.
It is the amount of children that I've had. So he said the intent for the septic system, it's changed to a 4 rather than a 3.
Do you want to give away one of your kids? No.
They're nice to
It's an alternative.
Question for staff. This application kind of questioned like the well. I mean, it's not a deep well, it's a shallow well. I mean, typical wells are 100 feet now, cased with 50 feet. My biggest concern here is that we are doing the applicant, like by passing this variance, we are doing this applicant a disservice. And the reason why is because, you know, I kind of view your property as the septic system will be better in the back and the well will be better in the front because you're so squeezed so tight. But, you know, again, I don't drill wells. I guess I'm just kind of wondering to have that little more conversation about the legality of the well. I mean, I work in real estate. You can technically convey a Sandpoint well. It's what this is. If it's operational, but if it's not operational, you have to cap it and remove it. So I guess when we talk about this well, that's really the thing I want to focus on is the well, because I kind of feel like it might be underserved, it might be an underserved, you might be underserved water-wise just because of the depth of it. I mean, I don't know how much CFS you're getting out of it, you know, pressure, but, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of wondering about that. I mean, what do we know about well
Joe,
depths?
It's on the design. It's a 29-foot drilled
But,
well.
but what about, like, what do we drill wells at now, normally?
Depends on where your
is.
water table is.
Yeah, it's all over the place. There's a lot of 25-foot wells in the
100-foot
county.
well.
Mine's 49.
Yeah. But when you look at the property, it's on grade below,
Water table.
okay.
John, I got a question for you. When you had the design done for the septic system, was this the best possible place to place this? And I see Chet and Rosie are on board.
So when Tim initially did his survey, he was going to get the side yard setback to put the tanks on the property line and then extend. When the county came out to do their soil inspection, the deviation from undisturbed was about 4 inches short. So I would have had to add 4.5 feet to my front yard to make it legal. So they changed the design to add the lift station and the pretreatment and the UV. And in his terms, he said this is the best we could do. If they attempted to move anything to the backyard, the water table would interfere with the tanks. And then also we would be having 2 turns to get the effluent from the house to the tanks and 2 turns to pump the effluent from the tanks back to the front yard. Placing it in the backyard would be basically impossible with the size width from Tim's discussion with me.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for staff or applicant?
I have a question for staff. Well, actually for the applicant too. You're not replacing your house.
No.
Okay. Because the highway department thinks you are.
Yeah, I think there's a typo in.
Madam Chair, I believe he did the Lesh letter first, copied it over, and did not make those changes.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, any more questions for applicant or staff?
So maybe a question for staff. So this was 2008, so we're 18 years from construction. How substantial has the SSTS standards changed since then? Have there been substantial changes or?
Madam Chair, Member Wienerman, in terms of sizing of the system, I don't think there hasn't been dramatic changes, and maybe Member Knopfler can speak to that, but no, the system was undersized.
Okay.
And the soil was not interpreted correctly
Okay.
on the initial design. And so that's partly why it's failing.
Any more questions for applicant or staff? Is there any public testimony? Any public testimony? Any public testimony? Then I will ask for a motion to close the hearing.
I'll move to close the hearing.
George made a motion,
I'll second that.
second by John. Is there any final discussion? All right, then we are closing the hearing, so all in favor, say aye. Aye. Public hearing is closed. We will proceed to the finding of facts. The proposed use is allowed in zoning districts in which the subject property is located, yes or no? Jason?
Yes, it's an R1 area, so the septic systems are appropriate and allowable on the property.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Number 2, the variance will be in harmony with the general purpose intended, the official controls of any related ordinance, yes or no?
Madam
Jason?
Chair, I'm going to say yes. A lot of the ordinances is protecting and enhancing, and we don't often see enhancements. So in this case, you're correcting previous deficiencies, bringing the thing back up to standards, addressing undersizing. So we're actually capturing an enhancement to the overall conditions. So I'm going to say yes.
I also want to say yes to that and add on to Jason's that there is a reduced setback agreement with Chet and Rosie Blazek. John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
And Joe?
Yes.
Number 3, the variance will be consistent with comprehensive plan, yes or no? Rob?
Yes. Living goals number 3.
Okay, Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Okay, number 4, the property owner proposes to use the property in a reasonable manner. Yes, it is reasonable to have an up-to-date septic system for your household size. Jason? John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Number 5, the plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property not created by the landowner. Yes or no? Jason?
Madam Chair, yes, it's not the landowner's fault. It was previously undersized and it's a very small lot. So they're doing the best they can to put a system in. So it is unique to the parcel and statutory requirements.
Okay, and I think the lot size, if I'm correct, 1950, it was plotted before the official controls too, so they are bringing this in compliance in my eyes. So John,
Yes.
which I'm a yes, Dave. John, you're a yes. George?
I'm going to say yes. I think the burden to the landowner is huge if no variance is not given, and it far outweighs the benefit to the county.
I also like to add to my yes, with the design too, it is the most practical place as well. Rob?
Yes, this is a unique lot. It's
Dave?
narrow, long, shallow well. That's the only appropriate place for that system on that lot.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe? Number 5, the plight of the landowner is due to circumstances unique to the property not created by the landowner. Rob?
And that's what I just said. This is a unique lot. It's the problem he's encountering with placement of the septic system is based on the fact that the lot's narrow. The well is on the lakeside, so it is unique to that property.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
George?
Yes.
Number 6. Dave, you good? Yes. Okay. The variance, if granted, maintains the essential character of the locality, yes or no? John?
Yes. Nothing will change.
Thank you. George?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes, and I actually say it's going to enhance the essential nature of locality by improving the subsurface to your neighbors and your lot itself. So that's
Gonna
a good.
up your value too, so I'm a yes. Rob?
Yes.
Dave?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Number 7, the need for the variance involves more than economic consideration, yes or no? Dave?
Economics is part of this request, but it's not the one driving the variance. It's going to cost him more to install a new system.
Or are you a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Joe?
Yes.
Rob?
Yes.
I'm also a yes. Jason?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
And George?
Yes.
Staff report results.
Chair, the findings were 7-0 in the affirmative.
Dave, can I get a motion to approve the variance request?
I'll move to approve the variance request.
George made a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by John. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. All right, good luck. If you have any questions, direct them towards staff, and thanks for your time. Okay, moving on to our 5th agenda item, approval of minutes from previous meeting. Are there any amendments or corrections to the minutes from the previous meeting? Then I'll ask for a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
Thank you, Dave. Can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Second by George. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say sigh. Our sixth agenda item is other discussion is Rob Schwagel, District 2, and John Wicker at large are eligible for reappointment January 1st of 2027.
Yes, Madam Chair, it's just more of a statement to get you all thinking, well, you being Rob and John, if you are both interested, then we'll be bugging you in a few months to reapply.
So please do.
Any idea on July, August?
Oh my gosh.
I have 2 applications that were incomplete for this meeting, and I believe they'll both be on track for August. So
Perfect. Thank you.
two at a minimum, Monday's the deadline.
And it's been slow, huh?
Seems to be. I mean, there's a lot of inquiries, but when people start looking at fees and septic compliance fees and things like that, they kind of start backing out.
Thank you, Dave. I will ask for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
But before we do,
yeah.
George, you can go first.
I have a question on protocol. Okay, so I had, from December, I had one of the applicants call me and want to talk about the denial. What's the protocol? Can I talk about that, or what's?
Madam Chair, Member Fiedler, no, you should not talk about anything related to a denial, especially for an appeal period still, because that could get sticky with, if they appeal the decision and then they bring in one member's statements, I would,
Well, I followed, I did. I talked to the guy. Not knowing that I shouldn't. I don't know how he got my number. He said he talked to the staff in the county about it, and they couldn't explain why it was denied.
I don't give out phone numbers.
I don't care. I mean, I'm willing to talk to anybody who wants to talk about it, but I didn't know what the protocol was.
yeah, I would always recommend not talking to applicants that call you, especially after an appeal, especially after denial. And if they tell you that staff can't explain why it was denied, have them call me. I can explain why everything is denied or approved. That's why we have you do such lovely findings.
That's what the findings are for, yeah.
And the guy was not kind to Rob at all.
Well, there've been a few applicants that have not taken the decisions very well.
I mean, it's all, everything's in the minutes. Everything's in the minutes and the findings. That is our recorded decision.
Yeah, staff should be explaining to the applicants why and possibilities about moving forward, options.
Because I'm willing to bet you were recorded. So,
Just direct them back to staff, and you can let them know that the trainings that you've been to and what staff tells you is not to speak to applicants and to direct them back to Shelley or myself.
That happened to me too. But that's why I didn't vote.
And it's fine to talk to them on a site visit when you're going to look at it. But
He asked me why I didn't vote, and I said, because I know you.
Anyway, thanks for the clarification.
I have a question on our first applicant, the Belknap one. Joe, you made comment several times. Does he have a business? You said commercial. You brought up commercial
Yeah,
some.
it said right in the application, he intends to have his kid operate a lawn mowing business there.
That's not a commercial business.
So, Madam Chair, we shouldn't have any conversations about a public hearing that's already been closed because Mr. Belknap's not here to hear the conversation, and the decision can't be changed at this point.
No, but it's educational.
Okay, let's adjourn the meeting and then we'll go off record.
Right.
Okay?
I'm satisfied with the answer I got, so we don't need to discuss it anymore. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you, John. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by George. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say aye. Our next meeting is scheduled August 13th. Thank you, everyone.
Yep, see you in November.